Did you listen to my story time? It is April, the month of the dragon, year of the dragon. Are you ready for a ride, my friends? Welcome. This is Lydia with the Bazi Chinese Astrology channel and Feng Shui, talking about flying stars Feng Shui for April. If this speaks to you, please subscribe, like, follow, all the good things so you don't miss a single one of my videos. So welcome. Yes, I did a really super fun story time talking about the first 3 months of 2024 and got a lot of positive feedback. So I'm going to continue with that narrative. I'm not going to get into repeating the story in this video. I want to focus just on the flying stars Feng Shui. But suffice it to say, there is absolutely a story unfolding this year that began with the tiger in February, which felt very fast and very furious, like just a very sudden start to the year, like, whoa, here we go. All right. And then it was like we landed a bit worn out, exhausted into March, the month of the rabbit. And the rabbit and the dragon really are very frustrated together. And they actually are like considered a harmed interaction or relationship because, you know, rabbit has one energy and dragon is like completely different. And so there's a lot of frustration, a lot of static, a lot of tug of war, and nobody's really getting what they want. Their needs aren't being met. It's not a happy time. It's just a little bit more of a challenging month. And then, my friends, April. April is an interesting month for the Western astrology and Eastern astrology. Oh my gracious. You know, I follow Western astrology, but it's like, wow. The way that all of it lines up is surreal. For instance, Mercury's going to be retrograde, and we're going to be in the throes of eclipse season through April in the Western astrology. And then you add to that in Eastern astrology, we have the double dragon. And all of the flying stars for 2024 are doubled. This just feels like everything on steroids. Everything magnified and amplified for the better and for the worse. So it's really up to us. How do you want to set the stage? Okay, you know? So I also want to remind you to check the shorts, because at the beginning of March, I started something that I'm going to continue doing. And I think shorts is a good place to do that because they're really quick little videos letting you know the best days of the month and the worst days of the month, so that you can really use this astrology to manifest your life in a way that's far more guided and wise, as opposed to just doing things because you just feel like doing it, you know? So when we work with energy, we get better results, and we sidestep a lot more of the missteps that we didn't see coming, right? So one of the things to recognize, like thinking of anybody that's due to have a baby in April, can you imagine having a baby in the morning between 7 and 9 in the morning is the hours of the dragon, the month of the dragon being April, and then days of the dragon. Now, this also I found striking. I don't remember the details of Western astrology for this day, but I remember April 10th being noted as being a really contentious day and one to watch. So that is also a day of the dragon. So mark your calendar and do some research into the Western astrology as well. But April 10th is a big, big day. And that's a dragon day, dragon month, dragon year. Children born in April, you're looking at innovators, dreamers, visionaries. But also, you know, the shadow side is someone like Putin, dictator of Russia. I mean, they just had an election. It's like a joke. I mean, they can't get rid of this guy. He's going to stay there until he dies. And so there is a shadow side to every one of the 12 Bazi Chinese astrology animals. For dragons, it is absolutely an egomaniac. It's overpowering, it's intolerant, it's opinionated, it's abrupt, it's excessive, and it's a dictator. It's somebody who leads with top-down authority, dictatorial, a big authority. And, you know, what we want to do is be on the right side of the dragon. We want to be utilizing this energy. It's, you know, April is a yang earth dragon. The dragon is yang earth. So there again is a lot of this heavy, heavy earth. And with the eclipse season and Mercury being retrograde, landslides, earthquakes, other events, you know, even things like volcanoes erupting, all kinds of earth events happening. And this can feel like an oppressive weight. It can feel super heavy, right? So, so the dragon is taking this big double roar in April. And this feels like such an invitation to take action and to be bold, to be fearless, to take the lead, to imagine the miraculous, the mystical, and the marvelous magic of life. Utilize this. You know, it's like, yeah, there is a lot of instability. But at the same time, I think that this could be a month that could be an amazing time to vision on something, to work and collaborate with others on dreaming big of something you want to manifest in the future. So we're going to harness this crazy energy and imagine these creative projects. Feel yourself being more motivated. Utilize the energy, because I feel like if we aren't riding with it, you can get kind of dragged. Yeah, you know, jump on the bumper and grab a hold of the luggage rack. You remember that when we were kids? Yeah, I certainly wouldn't allow that now, but man, that was fun. Well, you don't want to lose your grip and wind up being dragged. So that's the real caution with April. Find your speed. Make sure it's not reckless. Make sure you're not speeding. Make sure you are riding an energy that feels good to you. Just like when you're in a car and you suddenly realize you're going way too fast, pull back. Just like when you notice that you're going too slow, speed up a little bit until it feels right. And that awareness of sensing requires stillness and silence. Even in the midst of the noise, find those moments in your day when you can stop and breathe, process, and recognize what is happening around you and adapt yourself accordingly. Okay? All right, so all that to be said, let's go around the Bagua. You ready? Here we go. Now, remember, on the Karma Chameleon website, I have the blog for every one of these monthly forecasts. So if you can't keep up and it's too much info, no worries. Plus, I'm not going to read all of it because it would just take too much time. It's just that easy. So for each of the directions that we're moving around the Bagua, there are cures, there are colors, there are materials, such as the elements, What do we want? Metal furniture or wood furniture? And when we're looking at annual treatments, those are very important. The monthly, more than anything, it's having awareness. Oh, this time of the year, this direction in this room of my house is more likely to have this happen. And you adjust to that. You adapt to that, right? This month of April, all the flying stars are doubled. That being said, pay special attention to the areas that are problematic and utilize, activate, energize the areas that are really positive. Now, you can manipulate the energy in your home and office by doing the following things. If the energy is positive, yang it, meaning bring in yang qualities, human interaction, human activity, lights on, curtains up, sunlight coming in the windows. Keep the room active, right? If it's an area you want to squelch the energy, it's a dangerous part of the Bagua, then we want to make it dark, silent, not use the room. Keep the energy as calm as humanly possible, because when we do that, it's no longer really a threat, okay? So we're going to go around the Bagua starting at the center, and the 3 stars in the center. So again, I'm not even going to say it. You already know. Every one of these is doubled. So the 3 star is cranky pants on steroids and a real threat to the harmony and the health of our relationships. So being a weak wood star sitting in the middle, which is earth, it's almost like it's already diminished enough. So you add the last piece, which is fire. And it can be candles, it can be incense burning in the center of your home, which is nice. It can also just be something red. If you don't have a table here or access to placing items, then I would just put something that is a prayer or a blessing in a red frame on that wall. The annual cure is a red happy Hodi sitting on 7 Chinese red envelopes. Okay. Coming around to the north. The north is one of 3 funky stars this year where the star itself is sitting in a very afflicted direction and there's no way to mitigate it. So you're going to bring in elements that don't normally go. For instance, the 8 star sitting in the watery north, there's no way to mitigate this. So the 8 star is weakened. It is kind of feeling diminished this year, and we want to motivate it. So the color to bring in, and I know again it's weird for the north, are earth tones, colors like brown and yellow. And the annual cure, I would put 8 silk red flowers in a red vase for abundance. If it's a front door, put 8 Chinese coins on a red string from the door. This is also the new location for a love altar, to put your favorite photo of you and your sweetie, a pair of birds, a couple of red candles. And yeah, very sweet. It's a very nice energy, but you want to nurture that 8 star. All right. We're going to then come around to the northeast. This is another fabulous direction for April. The 6 star being doubled is double wealth. The great thing about the northeast, more than any other direction this year, is that the northeast is earth, which nourishes the 6 star. And this is a great location for our front entrance or office because there is so much wealth to glean from this area. And the best cures are 6 gold ingots on a round yellow or gold metal plate in a prominent location. If it's a front door, you can hang 6 Chinese coins on black string from the doorknob. And the colors here are the innate earth colors of yellow and brown and cream and tan, along with some of those metal colors of black, white, gray. And you can add a little bit of blue in there if you want. So then we're going to come around to one of the last great areas, which is the east, where we have the 1 star magnified, and the 1 star is water, and the east is wood. So it's in this direction of being a parent, right? Because the parent, it's nurturing the wood of the east. So we want to support the 1 star and glean all of that wonderful energy. The 1 star is our new future wealth star. So it's the best place to put a vision board, or it can just be a list of everything you want to manifest this year. Don't be greedy now. Really think about this. What are realistically things you want to bring into your life this year, right? And place it in this direction. We're going to focus on the colors of wood and green and bring in the blue. Again, the vision board is here, and you can also add a single gold ingot on a blue round plate. That's a specific cure I like to use for the 1 star. We come around to the 2 star, which I'm saying neutralize this. The 2 star doubled is the home of the dragon. We don't want to face southeast. Double check the direction your head points when you're sleeping. Double check that that this area is not disturbed in any way, shape, or form. Think of it like the most important person in your life sitting on a throne throughout the year in this direction of your home, that you don't want to insult them, disturb them in any way. And so to honor this, we want to keep the area quiet. This is the placement of the Grand Duke. Keep it super quiet, no construction, banging, deep digging. To appease the Grand Duke, we put a Tai Shui plaque and a pair of Piao beasties facing into the direction of the southeast. I have the actual compass degree listed on the blog. You can also put a big gold dragon. I have a really nice fancy gold dragon sitting in the southeast this year, just holding reign, right? So really the worst direction for a bedroom or a front door is the southeast this year. Be very, very mindful of how you're coming and going, how you're using this space. It really needs to be honored. And the best thing to do, this is another one of those funky directions, because the 2 star being earth, the southeast being wood, there's no way to mitigate this. And so the best thing to do, take care of the southeast, wood, greens, all of the things. But then we want to add yellow and a little bit of earth to just nurture and take care of the 2 star. Then we come around to one of the worst directions of the year, the 7 stars sitting in the south. This is in the other funky, weird direction, because the 7 stars metal, the south is fire. There's no way to mitigate this. And when you put metal and fire together, this is a gunshot. This is violence. This is war. And the South being where we have our reputation, our recognition, our fame, is really problematic, because it feels like just things can go very wrong for you. And if this were my office, I would move to a different room. Absolutely. This is where people will get canceled and slandered. Yeah, not a happy place at all. Please be super careful. This is the area of the 3 killings, one of the 3 afflictions that we have every year. So you've got the southeast with the Grand Duke, the south with 3 killings. Be really careful in this area. Check your safety, your security, and just a lot of caution. Best thing to do is put a brass dragon-headed turtle with a plant that's like a cutting of a plant sitting in clean, clear water. The other thing you can do to protect your finances, fill a black dish with rice and set a Chinese coin with a bloodstone crystal on top. All right, now we're going to come around to the southwest, one of the last really beautiful directions for April. This is the 9 star. This is our new top, vibrant, beautiful wealth star for period 9. It is exalted here in the southwest. We have the ability to really bring this energy into being activated. Its favorite color is purple, so we want lots of purple colors, fiery colors, and fire itself, like candles or incense or a fire pit or a fireplace or a stove. And you could also do 9 purple silk flowers in a purple or green vase. Okay. Now we're going to come around to the last 2 directions that are really problematic. The 5 star in the west, one of the worst directions for 2024. Horrible, horrible, horrible. If anything could go horribly wrong in your life, it's in the west if it's disturbed. So this is a bad direction for a bedroom or a front entrance. If you can't change the direction, like a front door, I would hang a chiming bell so that when you open and close the door, a bell rings. Put a 6-rod metal wind chime outside of the west to break up. It's like literally breaking up the chi. An indoor chiming clock is another alternative. Metal, 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 metal to drain the earthy 5 star. The last one is the 4 star, sitting in the northwest. The northwest opposite to the southeast is home of the dog and the placement of the shui po. The shui po is another way of saying the opposite direction to the Grand Duke. And this is another direction to keep quiet, still, undisturbed. And the dog being the enemy of the dragon is very contentious energy. The 4 star is in here, and this is, again, a very disharmonious direction. Be very mindful here. To mitigate the clash of metal and wood, we want to bring in blue. So blue is the color to use here. A good cure is to put a Chinese coin with the 4 characters facing up with a rose quartz crystal on top. Best directions: north, northeast, east, and southwest. Worst, and this is amplified. Worst is northwest, south, the west, the center, and the southeast. Okay. Now on the world stage, we want to look at April is highlighting the dragon and where it sits in the world map. And this is, if you're looking up the, straight up the line, we're coming into Western India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran, and continuing north up into that western part of Russia, okay, Kazakhstan. Those areas we're going to see a lot, highlighted a lot this year. And it's also, I was looking also at the south, which is very much sitting along a lot of Europe, a lot of Africa, the Middle East, because of the 7 star being so contentious with war, with fighting, with gunfire and violence. This is a very contentious month, April. And again, really lean into the energy and find your rhythm. Always, always, always lead with kindness. Lead with compassion, right? So important that we utilize the most positive aspects, that magnetic, beautiful energy of the dragon. Ride the magic. Yeah. And back down on being Mr. Posse Pants, right? Okay. All right, friends. Thank you so much. Your questions are welcome. Please keep it positive. We need all the kindness we can find in this world. Until next time, be well.